Hello everyone. Here in this session, I'm going to discuss about the second use case that we are going to perform for creating the Rtf template in BI Publisher. Here in this use case, we are going to consider building a Rtf template for a parent child or master detail report in BI Publisher, where the header information will be shown in form layout and the line information will be shown in table layout. So the final report would look like this, where we will have the header will have the company logo and the date time when the report output is generated, then a report name, then the form layout for the purchase order header, because we are going to consider purchase order for this use case. Then we will have the lines pertaining to that purchase order, where we will calculate the line amount for each line. Then we will calculate the total amount. We will show the total line amount in words. And this is all about the use case. So you can see whatever I talked about, we are going to do all of these in this session. Now let's go to Fusion environment. So this is the data model. Click on edit. Let's go to data. Select some 100 or something. Click on view. You can save as sample data in order for us to create the report. Now, in order to create Rtf template, we need to export the report output. So let's export the report output. Let me just save it over here. So we already have it downloaded. So you can see the data looks like this, where we have the data DS as the root element. G1 contains the header information and the line information. So it can have multiple lines. So if you see the next one, G1 right here, it has G2, and so on and so forth. You can see there are a lot many lines, and that's where the G1 ends. So this is how the data source looks like. Now I'm going to create an Rtf template as we discussed. So let's open Word, click on blank document. Now here, what I'm going to do, I'll go to BI Publisher. I will load the sample data. So let me just load this sample data. Now let me click on Table Wizard. So you can select whatever format you wanted to select. So I'll select form here. Click Next. I will select G1 as form. Click Next. I will select the columns that I just wanted to show: PO number, PO status, PO type, supplier number, supplier name. So these all are the things that I just wanted to show over here. Then I will click Next. And the group by, I just don't want to do anything as such. And I will click Next. And sort by, I will just say ascending, let it be. Click on Finish. So you can see the form layout for the header is created. Let me save this. Let me save it in the artifacts folder, or could be I can select more options. I can go to artifacts, use case 2, and here I can select, let's say, PO report, Rtf template, right? And I will make it .rtf. Now let's quickly run this PDF. Okay, so it is again asking for this. I guess I can save now. And you can see the data is coming. It doesn't look good, but the data has started coming up, right? Now let me just add the line information. So just take the cursor over here and start putting the table for the lines. I will select G2 over here, click next. I will select the line number. Sorry. I will select line number, line status, PO item, item UAM, unit price, quantity. Click next, next, and finish. So you can see the table layout has been portrayed over here. Now let's run it once more. So you can see the data is coming properly, right? But it is not kind of well formatted. Let me just reduce the size or increase the length of the table so that things comes properly. Let me just change the font size to 10 for this as well so that it looks good. And sorry, I'll just make one space like this. Right. So now let me just run it once more. And you can see now somewhat it looks good, right? Okay. So now as part of next step, what we are going to do, we are going to provide a report name. So let's go to the template, hit enter. I will just say purchase order report. So I will just go to home and make it a title. I will bring it to the middle. I'll put underline. I'll reduce the size to, let's say, 16, right? Let's run the report again. So you can see the header is coming up now, right? Let's go back to the use case. Here we are going to add header to insert the company logo on the left side and date timestamp in the right side using this XSL function, right? So let's add header, go to home, go to insert. Here we have header. So let's add header over here. So you can see the header is appearing. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to insert a table, right? With just 3 rows. I'll stretch it further and there also. So here I'm going to type the date time stamp. So let me just take this from here. All right. Here I'm going to use some image. So let me just go to insert picture, this device. I will select some image, probably my training institute's image. So let me go to D drive here and here common images and logo. So let me just use the logo here, right? So let me just minimize it to the core so that it doesn't impact the changes. Now I can just remove the table border, right? So that is how it would look like. So you can see this is how it looks like. Now let's save and create the PDF. Excellent. So you can see here the company logo and the date time stamp is appearing over here, right? Now we have used the XSLT extended function. We have something from Word also. We can just use date time. That also works well. I just wanted to show you in a different way. That's why I have used this extended XSLT function. Now let's go back to the use case document. Now we wanted to show a PO from a new page. So now if you see the output, right? So one PO ends here, another PO starts over here, right? So which I don't want. I want to have a PO starting from a new page. So how do I do that? So there is a functionality split by page break. So as soon as new G1 starts, we have to break the page. So basically before end for each, we have to break it, right? So just let me put it like this, split by page break, right? So that's how we are going to do. So there is dash everywhere. All right, so you can see here it is matching exactly. We have to use colon. Colon is also there. Click OK. So every time the G1 ends, the page will break, and every time the new G1 starts, it will start from the new page. Let's go to BI Publisher, click on PDF, and there you go. So you can see here the POs are starting from the new page always, right? See here. Okay. So next, let's go to the use case document. Decode the PO status to a user-friendly status using the extended SQL function. So now if you see the PO status, how it is coming, let's take a look at this. So it is coming as open, right? If it is closed, how do I understand what is the exact status of open means, right? So for that, I'm going to use the decode statement. So let me copy this statement and put it in Notepad. So for that, we are going to use the decode function where we are going to evaluate the PO status. So let me just put the bracket over here. If PO status is open, it should show open PO. If it is closed, it should show closed PO. If it is anything else, then it will show others, right? And that is all about the status. So let me just copy this and let me go to PO status advanced. I'll remove this and I'll put this. Click OK, save this and run the PDF again. Something wrong. Let me just take a look at it. Oops, so I forgot to close it to others. Let me copy this and let me paste it over here. The syntax was wrong. That's why it was not printing any status. Let me just click on PDF again. And there you go. So you can see it's printing the status, right? So if it has some other status, it will start printing, but mostly it is printing open PO because I have taken the open POs only. But that is how you can use extended SQL function in Rtf template. Now we are going to calculate the line amount. Now you can see we have item unit price and item quantity, but we want to multiply to find the line amount. So let me just add that. So let me just add another column here. Right here, sorry. right? So let me just add another insert, another columns to the right. So you can see now I'm just going to say line amount, right? We will say line amount, right? So here I will just copy the entire thing and paste over here. I will remove the for each for line here, and I will just double click on the item quantity and I will give it a name, let's say line amount. And here I have to just do multiplication of item unit price and item quantity. You can just do the same thing in the data model, but I just wanted to show you how you can do multiplication. So that's what I have placed it over here. That's all. Let's go to PDF and you can see 129 into 2, right? 18 into 30, 540, 18 into 30, 540, 8 into 30, 240, right? And so on and so forth, right? So that's how you can just calculate the line amount. Now moving to the use case document again. Next, we are going to calculate the PO amount, sum of all line amount. This also you can do it in your data model query, but I just wanted to show you how to use set variable functionality in the Rtf template. So basically, how you can do it, you can just set the variable, whatever line amount you are getting, you just add it over here. Then again, you take another variable like total line amount and then set it over here. So that's how you can do it. You can merge these two statements into one. Total line amount, same XDO get variable total line amount, and then you just plus item unit price and item quantity. So this calculation we are storing it in another variable, but you can just ignore to do so. Either you follow this single line statement approach or you can do the couple of line approach of doing it. So let me just do it in a simple term. All right, so let's do this in the Rtf template. So first we will take this statement where we are going to store the multiplication result of unit price and quantity into line amount. So let me just do that in this for loop where the end for each thing is there. Next, we have to just store the total line amount every time we just sum it up, right? So let me just take this and paste it in the same place, right? Click OK. So once that is done, we have to print the total line amount. So let me just create another row and here I will say total line amount and then I will print the line amount. So let me just copy one of the field here. I'll paste it and I will say total line AMP. Now in advanced, I'm going to print the get value of it, right? So this is the total line. So I'm going to get the total line amount, whatever being calculated, right? So I'll just put it over here. Click OK. Now every time this variable should be reset. Otherwise, for all the POs, it will keep adding up. So we have to set it every time the new PO starts. So here is the point where new PO starts, right? So after for each, I need to set it to 0. Click OK. Save. Click on PDF. There you go. So you can see total line amount is 252. Let's take some use case where we have multiple lines. So you can see here we have 300, 300, 180, right? And then if you see here, right, see 540, 540, 240, 240, which becomes total 2520, 250, right? So that's how it's calculating the total price or the total PO amount, right? Now, next thing that we are going to see is we are going to show the total line amount or the PO amount in words, right? So here you see this is just the digit. Now what we are going to do, we are going to create another row and we can just say total amount in, or we just can just format like total amount, and here we will put it in words, right? So like this, and we can just ignore this border, right? So I can just say no border, right? So it would look nice. There also I will say no border, and let this be with border, right? So if I say just all border, and here also this table also I will say all borders. Now here I will start printing. I'll just take this amount and paste it over here. I'll just give it a name, right? So I will say total amount in words. So I'll just give this value. And how do I do that? So there is a function in XDO to check number. There is also a function in XDOFX, means extended SQL function and extended XSLT function. So I'm going to use extended XSLT function where to check number I have to provide this variable XDOXSLT, then get variable, and total line amount I have to just give the currency, which currency I just wanted to print it in. So I will just copy this and paste it over here. So basically this will give me the amount, so it will print that amount. Click OK. So now it is showing some value. So basically I can merge these three fields. So merge cells, right? So it would now look good. So let me just reformat something, right? So let me just, yeah, here it is. So I will just put it like this. Control S and then run this. And there you go. So you can see it is showing 258 and XX100, right? So this is how you can just print it into, right? So 2520, and then is printing the cent, right? So X by 100, XX by 100. So you can just format it as per your need, but this is how you can just show the amount in the word format. So 7300, right? So and so forth, right? So this is how you can just print your amount in words in Rtf template. That's all about creating the Rtf template with a report which is having master child relationship. Now let's go back to Fusion environment. Now I will click on create report. And you can see the data model is appearing over here. I'll click on use report editor, click on finish. I'll give it a name. Let's say XXPORTF report. Click OK. I'll upload. I'll give it a name, the layout name. Let's say PORPT. I will choose file. So this is the one that I have created today. Click open. Type is going to be Rtf template local. I'll select English and then US English. Click on upload. All right, let's view report. Perfect. So you can see here the report looks the way that we wanted. So we have the company logo, then the date format, but it looks nice when it is PDF. So let's download it in a PDF format and let's take a look at that. Okay, so yeah, you can see here, or you can just export it, right? So let's export this as a PDF, right? So you can see, just open the PDF. Yes, you can see now your PDF looks good now. Line amount. So every time you have the amount, right, everywhere. So you just see here. All right, this is all about creating a Rtf template using BI Publisher desktop version, and then you can just use it in your BI Publisher report. That's all. Thank you.